it's the Beginner Crafter. Welcome to another WIPTube. I have a few projects to show you, including something new. I sort of talked about it in January and February, but then I didn't have much to say about it again for a long time, but now I can finally talk about it. But I'll leave that until the end of the video, so stay tuned. We'll start with the Amphirite. I haven't done as much of a progress as I really wanted to, and I don't really know why. I was away and I took that project with me, but somehow it didn't get as much done as I wanted to. I'm not really sure how much of a difference you can see. I mean, it is longer. I did stitch a few rows. However, the color change is not really visible as much. It is slightly darker, the last few rows, than the previous ones. Like, this is a darker green than this one, but it's not as visible a difference as in other rows. And frankly, while stitching, I didn't really notice any change in color, and I was wondering, why is this color change so long? But it's just that there's a very delicate change, I guess. So I need to stitch and stitch and stitch more of that, because it's not going as fast as I wanted to. And I completely don't understand why, since this is kind of what I was stitching mostly on, but I guess it's that point in the project where you don't see the progress as clearly, which means I'm about between a half and 2/3 of a project, because I think this is mostly where you kind of, well, I at least see this kind of lull where the attraction of something new is already gone, but you're still too far away from the end. So every bit of a progress is still not taking you where you want to go. It doesn't seem like you've come much closer. So I need to work on it a bit more, and hopefully I will notice again the change and the rise in everything I'm doing. Then I've got my knitting project. So this is the Bloom Between the Lines knit project. It was designed by Canada, and you can buy the pattern of Ravelry, for example. And I've made a full repeat, and I have first 3 rows, I think, of the second. I will be doing the same pattern for the second time, but I kind of repeated it the first time. So this is the full pattern, kind of, the one full length of a pattern, and I like it. I'm kind of surprised it works, and I'm very proud of myself. It works. There is a row or two where those stitches are not perfect. There are some kind of weird shapes here, but it works. You can still see the change of what it looks. Maybe it doesn't really look like a flower blooming or anything like that, but you can see that it's not just straight lines, and this is what I'm going for now. Maybe later on you will see better the changes, because I'll just be more adept at making all those stitches. I can finally see that there is yarn missing from this cake, because for a long time I couldn't really see that, you know, I was taking so much yarn. And also from here, I can also see that it's a bit looser in the center, so I know I've been using yarn. I think the pattern calls for 18 repeats in total, so I'm very early in the stages of making this shawl or wrap, but I really like it, and it's getting faster and faster to make. I have my lifelines. Oh, I thought I actually put a lifeline already here in this row, because I tend to put my lifelines in the rows where there are just knit stitches, so it's just easier for me to put the yarn through. So I thought I already did that, but no. So yeah, this is the first repeat, and let's hope that I'll be able to do a lot more rows in the next 2 weeks, so that I can progress quite fast, because I would really like that to see the progress, and not to have this feeling like in Amphirite that I'm stitching or knitting or just doing stuff and nothing's happening. So let's hope this progress is a bit faster. Now the stitching. First, Blackwork by Peppermint Purple, and like I said last time, I am a Peppermint Purple pal, which means if you want to buy patterns made by her, you can use my affiliate link, and at no additional cost to you, I will get a bit of commission, which I will be able to spend on patterns from her shop. And I'm basically caught up with July, but as you can see, those 3 squares are missing their centers, and that's because each of the square is a different thread color, and I didn't want to start a new thread and then not really use it, because I need that needle for other projects too, and I hate rethreading, so I just left it at that. But all those squares are from June and July, the ones I was supposed to do, so now I will be waiting until August finishes so that I can finish those and move on with other squares. So that means I have the first half of August, or even first 3 weeks of August free. So I hope to go with the 2020 stitch along, because I am missing that one. So since I won't have anything to fill, I'll try and start that one. I just need to find a pattern for it, so that I can actually work it. But I want to make that one as well, because I really like the designs. I know you can't really see much because of those squares not being finished, at least not all of them, but I like this one. And as far as I remember, well, actually, as far as I remember, I liked all of them, because they were very geometrical, without too much weird shapes, or I don't know how to call that, but I think I like all of those July and also June squares a lot. So it was really a pleasure to stitch them. Then I've got Miranda, so my focus piece. Yeah, it's also getting bigger and bigger. It's more difficult to show it in full, but I've focused on this page. I did put a few stitches in other pages as well, but of course I mostly worked here. There is a color that I'm missing, so I will need to buy it. I think I've got 3 colors that I ran out of and I will need to buy, so hopefully I'll do it quite quickly because those colors are needed. And I worked almost 1,500 stitches in the last 2 weeks on Miranda, but in July it was almost 3,000 stitches, so not a bad progress. And I am at 29.84% of Miranda. Yeah, next time I'll be continuing this page. What I can see happening is that by the end of the year, and as far as I remember, the goal was to finish this row by the end of the year and maybe start this one. But by the looks of it, I will finish this page and also start this one. They may not be super complete as other pages are without any stitch missing, but they will have a lot done. So I think reaching a third of the whole picture is really in my reach this year because I'm missing about 4%. So it could happen. It really could happen this year. So I'll try. I'll try to get it done and get to at least a third of the picture this year. If I can, I'll push myself to stitch more and to reach higher milestones. 40% would be great already, because then it would mean I get to clean up all those threads. Although getting to 40% might actually mean that I'll clean them up just because I will be working the stitches. So it may not be as visible because I'll just run out of those loose threads to clean up. But we'll see how far I go. So yeah, hopefully this is how much I'll be able to work on Miranda this year. Then Mini Marvellous Garden. I also worked quite a bit on it, although not as much. Again, I put 847 stitches in the last 2 weeks on that. And in total in July, it was almost 1,200 stitches. So quite nice progress as well. I'm getting further down the page here. I've maybe not fully completed, but I've definitely filled out some of the white spots in the center of the flower. I did put a few stitches in this page somewhere. I don't think I've put any in there. Maybe 1 or 2, but that would be the max, I think. I mostly stitched here. So as you can see, I'm pretty down now when it comes to where I am in the page. So that's also quite nice. So progress, I am at 45.9 which means I'm close to 50%, and then I will be cleaning up the threads. So that's also a milestone worth waiting for and hoping for, and I think this year I will get there. Possibly not until the end of summer. I usually hope for some milestones during the summer, but I think a bit more than 4% might be difficult in the last month, but maybe if I think of the summer as like calendar summer, not as in work summer holidays, so by the 3rd week of September I might actually get there to 50%. But yeah, this year, by the end of the year, definitely. So that will be great. And Avarice also got some stitching done, although little. Little mostly because I broke a needle. I already ordered a new one, well, new ones, because it's best to have extra. I'm using size 26 needle with this one because it is count 18 Aida, so I need a pretty thin needle, but that also means that it breaks easily. So this thread is loose because I broke a needle and I wasn't able to stitch all those stitches. So I only worked 358 stitches on Avarice in those 2 weeks. And in total in July it was a little over 800. So again, not as much progress. I worked on some stitches here, a little bit in there somewhere. And the plan was to fill most of these squares here because they are mostly in this color. I think it's 310. I think it's black, pure black. And I wanted to do those squares because it would fill them out almost completely. I would have some, maybe not confetti stitches, but smaller groups of other colors. But if I filled this part, then I could put my Q-snap a little more to the left and deal with those threads, because then it would be quite comfortable to stitch this part as well. So I'm hoping, because the needles are supposed to come the day after tomorrow, I'm hoping in those 2 weeks I'll finish with yeah, those squares here, maybe even this column of squares, because if I don't need to change colors so much and figure out where to put each stitch, it goes much faster. So I could actually put so many stitches in during those 2 weeks and then move a little bit forward. I know there will be a lot of black in this page, and actually the face of the lady definitely appears here, and I know that the black kind of outlines her face, like it shows the shadows on her face. So there are like eyelids, for example. I can see that this will be happening on this page, so I'm looking forward to it. And I am at 7.73%, so haven't moved much from last time with Avarice, but hopefully in the next 2 weeks I'll get a lot of work done here. And now for the new thing. I've been designing and testing and recording a pattern for fillet crochet I know I haven't really done much fillet crochet myself to show, but it felt like a nice way to try it and also be a little bit creative. So I've made a fillet crochet heart in a few colors and actually in a few threads, different threads. So they are different sizes and they are made with different size hooks. And yeah, as you can see, this is the heart shape. I am planning to make it into a series of card suits. So there will be also a diamond and a spade, and I never remember the last one. What's it called? It looks like a tree. I'll check that out and put the info in. I have been designing it and testing it for a long time, and at first I recorded the tutorial in February, but it turned out that a big part of what I recorded was totally useless. So I re-recorded the whole thing, and now I just need to edit it. It should be alright. I've checked part of the footage, so it should be fine. So I'm hoping really that this month in August I will post a video, a tutorial for this pattern. And if I'm able to find a way to write the pattern in such a way that it is downloadable for people from using like the comment, not the comment box, the description box of the video, I'll try to also link the written pattern. But I hope the video itself will be detailed enough for everyone to follow the pattern and make it themselves also, and just by following what's in the video itself. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment box. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, because I will be putting not just my WIPTubes but also my tutorials for my patterns, and then you will be notified when I'm doing that. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!